Good morning, Shavua Tov, V'Kotavach. Thanks for tuning into the Kila Chari Torah daily review of Maimonides' 613 mitzvahs, the Sefer HaMitzvot for Sunday, October 3rd. We spoke the other day before Shabbos about some prohibitions of intermarrying and of having a connection to idolatrous nations, also to Ammon and Moab, allowing the idolaters even to live in the land of Israel. Let's look a little bit further because we have some interesting insight into other nations also in the following mitzvahs. Negative mitzvah number 54, prohibition number 54, we are forbidden to exclude the descendants of Esav from our community. If they've become proselytes, in other words, if they've converted, decided to accept and resolve to accept upon themselves the Taryag mitzvahs, all the 613 mitzvahs in the life of a Jew, we're forbidden to exclude them from the community. So once they convert, you're not allowed to refuse to marry to marry your children with their children, and so on. We are similarly, by Prohibition 55, forbidden to exclude descendants of Egyptians. We're not allowed to exclude Egyptians from our community, to refuse to intermarry with them, and so on, if they have become Jewish. The provisions of these two commandments are explained in the 8th chapter of Yevamos, also in Kiddushin. We were strangers in their land. That's one piece of logic that underlies this mitzvah. We shall not abhor an Egyptian. We shouldn't despise them, although they cast our male children to the river, because they were our hosts in the time of need, in the time of Joseph, when neighboring countries suffered from famine. They took us in. So we do have to have some appreciation of that, of the historical reality of the situation, and conduct ourselves accordingly. Okay, now we're going to get into some of the laws of war. So that will be interesting also. We are forbidden to offer peace to Ammon, to the nation of Ammon or Moab. By the way, they don't, for all intents and purposes, they don't exist today. So these prohibitions are not able to be practiced in point of fact, even though we learned them and we appreciate the lessons contained therein. And there'll be one more insight at the end there, so stay tuned for that. We're not supposed to offer a peace to Ammon or Moab. God commanded us that when we're about to besiege a city, we usually demand of its inhabitants before opening hostilities that they submit, make peace with us, and if they surrender, then we're forbidden to make war. That's some of the laws of warfare. We spoke about it when we talked about the positive commandments. You can refer back to number 190. However, with Ammon and Moab, these two nations who are, eternal enemies of the Jewish people, we're forbidden. This is the exception that proves the rule. We're not supposed to seek their peace, their prosperity, ever. In the Mishnah Torah, again at greater length as where Maimonides goes into detail in these, Maimonides says that the commandment prohibits us only from offering proposals of peace to these nations, but not from accepting proposals of peace from them. So if they make offers of peace to us, treaties and so forth, we apparently, according to the Rambam anyway, are permitted to accept them. So may peace break out all over, and everybody in Israel should be well, everybody out of Israel should be well, and should be good health and a lasting and sustainable peace for everybody. Wouldn't that be good news? Have a good week. Talk tomorrow.